I've been having a big case of the winter blues, and based on some of your comments recently, I think a lot of you have been feeling the same way. I don't know where you live, but I live in the Netherlands, and it has been an exceptionally gray, rainy, and depressing season this year. It was the wettest year ever recorded, and I think I've seen the sun maybe like 3 or 4 times since the start of October. That's what it feels like to me anyway. And just January and February are long. Let's call them long. So I thought it might be good to share some self-care tips for the winter blues, because we cannot change the weather or the season, but there are definitely some things that we can do to just make things a bit more fun, cheerful, just a bit easier. And these are things that are really helping me right now to kind of lift myself out of this winter funk. Before we begin, a little disclaimer just to be sure. I am not a doctor, this is not medical advice. This is just me sharing my personal experiences and the things that have been helpful for me. So if you feel like you might have seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder and you want to talk to a doctor about it, then please do. And while these tips are especially helpful during the winter time, I think these can also be good any time of the year if you've just been in a funk or in a rut, to kind of lift yourself back out of it and find some inner sunshine. Number 1 is to go outside, especially during the daytime, or those small moments when there's a little bit of sunshine. It might be super tempting to just stay indoors with weather like this. Trust me, I'm not looking forward to going on a walk after filming this. It is super windy right now, but it is so important to still try and go outside. If you don't, you're only going to feel more tired, more pessimistic. Not getting any light on you throws off your circadian rhythm, so do try to go outside when you can. Exposure to natural light can boost your mood. It can boost your serotonin, which is one of the body's feel-good chemicals. Our serotonin levels are usually lowest during winter time, and I've been feeling this myself really badly. So going outside can help, and it can also help us to get some vitamin D, which is also important. If you cannot go outside, try to get some fresh air by opening a window and sitting next to the window when there's daylight out to just get some light and some fresh air. I've read that this is especially helpful in the mornings, so if you can either go outside or sit by a window in the morning, that's great. Open up the curtains, get some light in, get some light on your face, on your hands, on your skin, and go outside when you can. Number 2 is to set small, achievable goals. I personally think it's fine if during wintertime you're just a bit less productive. I think that's natural. It's a time of more like resting, reflecting, going inward. Maybe you sleep a little bit more, maybe you do a little bit less, like that's all fine. But for me, the thing I need to watch out for is just not doing too little or too much. Try and set small, achievable goals. A few weeks ago, when I was really going through it, even small things like taking a shower, brushing your teeth, and flossing, things like that already seemed like a lot. And I really didn't want to let those things go, because that's when you start to feel really just kind of crappy. So these are things that I started setting goals for myself, do my skincare, brush my teeth, floss, get in the shower, things like that made me feel better about myself. It made me feel a bit more accomplished. They were small actionable things that I could do, make the bed, go for a little walk. That really helps. Something else I did that really helped me was make a little list of all the things that I've been dreading or postponing and just getting them done. And I wasn't forcing myself to get them all done in a day or in 2 days or even a week. I'm taking my time, but every day I'm ticking off one of the things that I've been dreading or postponing, and it feels so much better than to keep having these things in your head, like in the back of your mind, thinking like, oh, I need to do that, I need to do that. I'm not looking forward to it, and then you're postponing it, and it just makes you feel bad. Get them done, get them on a list and get them done slowly but surely. And this has really helped me to feel much more like I'm in control and that I'm accomplishing things. And it helped me to be more positive. Like today, I know this is TMI, but ladies, it's important. I'm doing a self-test when it comes to a pap smear that I've been postponing for months. So I'm getting it done today and I know I will feel better afterwards. If you've been postponing your pap smear, get it done, they're important. And it's not painful, it's not scary, it is uncomfortable, but it's worth it. Number 3 is to treat yourself to things that make you feel more cheerful. Last week I did something that I very rarely do, and I got myself some flowers. So I went to the store and I bought tulips. Right now, when the winter is coming to an end and the spring is approaching, here in the Netherlands, tulips are everywhere now and they're not that expensive. I got these 20 tulips for €5 and they make me feel better. They make me feel cheerful. It's nice to get some springtime in, some color in, and just this little small action of something that I'm treating myself to has really made a big difference. However, try to keep comfort food to a minimum, because one of the things that I am prone to do is comfort food, comfort eating, and these can just give you like sugar dips or make you feel even more like groggy. So not really good for your mood, even though they taste good when you're eating them. So what I try to do instead is look up a new recipe for like a healthy soup or something, and then make it, you know, a fun thing, going to the grocery store to get ingredients, getting my sunlight, and then making a healthy soup. It's nice and warm, it's still like comforting and hearty, but it's also good for me and it doesn't give me like a sugar dip afterwards. So things like that. Number 4 is to be careful about being too much on your phone during these darker winter months. I've definitely noticed that I've been spending more and more time on my phone lately, and I do not like it one bit. So that is something that I changed recently. It's just even easier during this time of the year to just spend time on your phone scrolling. And I don't need to tell you, I think, how damaging that can be for your mood. It does not help it if you're feeling depressed or sad or low on energy to just scroll on your phone. So really be mindful there, if that is you, to try and set boundaries about how much time you're spending on your phone. Number 5, so important, might be the most important thing I think, is to keep exercising. You need to keep moving your body when you're feeling sluggish, and I know that's very challenging when you're already feeling like that. Probably exercising is the thing that you want to do the least, but it is the thing that you should definitely do because it helps so much. I haven't been exercising for a while because first I had my period and then I got the flu, and it took a long time for my body to recover from all that. So I've been slowly building up my workout routine again for the last 2 weeks or so, and the difference that I notice in my mood is incredible. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you kind of enjoy doing it while you're doing it. So do a little dance workout on YouTube, do some yoga, go for a walk, do steps, whatever you enjoy, but get your body moving and get that energy flowing again, because that is the thing that is going to help you to get more active and lift you out of that funk. Even if it's for 5 minutes, even if that's all you feel that you can do, try and do that. Number 6 is to schedule things to look forward to. It's so nice if you have some things in your calendar that you're excited about, that give you that initial like, ooh, I can't wait for that thing to happen. For example, I have seen The Boy and Heron in the movie theaters twice. And that was such a nice thing to just buy myself a ticket and have that in my calendar to look forward to. By the way, great movie. I went to a museum to see an art exhibit of one of my favorite artists, Yayoi Kusama. We've been going on some walks, even if the weather is bad. Calling a friend and scheduling a date with them to have lunch somewhere or something that you enjoy. It gives me hope. It's hopeful to have things in your calendar that you are just excited about, because this time of year, there's not a lot that can give you some cheerfulness or some positivity, because it's all just very like gray and rainy and cold, and you know, it's not really fun. You have to make that yourself by scheduling some things in that you're really excited to do. And it doesn't have to be anything too extravagant. It can even be like making yourself a fancy dinner on Friday so that you have the whole week to look forward to that moment. Number 7 is to keep warm and cozy and basically make the most of this season. Again, I don't know where you live, but winter here is mostly just wet. There is not a lot of snow, it's not very cozy, it's just gray and wet and windy. So you need to kind of find ways to make that nice. So blankets, candles, warm cups of tea, whatever you find cozy and nice, movie nights, things that just have that little extra special something during the winter time. Try and do those things to also just kind of enjoy it while it is here. I'm suddenly getting really distracted because my neighbors are cooking something and it smells really nice. Something like pasta. Maybe I'm just hungry. I haven't had lunch yet. Number 8, and this one is as much for me as it is for you, to try and not take on the woes of the world, especially during this time. I find it very hard to try and ignore all the crappy things that are going on right now in the world and have been going on for a while. Because also it makes me feel like a bad person. It makes me feel very guilty if I just try and block all of that out, because it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with me personally, which is something that I'm very grateful for, to be safe, to have everything I need. And that is something to, count your blessings. At the same time, I find it very hard to just be like, okay, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to read about it. I'm not going to let it affect me, because that makes me feel like a bad person. But the thing is that you're not a bad person. No one is equipped to deal with all of that horribleness. And we are not made to deal with that and be able to just keep going on with our lives. And that is not something that you need to be able to do as well. So if you feel like, especially during this more depressing season of the year, you want to block out the news, or it doesn't make you a bad person, it doesn't make you selfish, it makes you human. Like I said, no one is able to deal with all of that and not have it affect their mood, and no one is helped by you feeling bad. So try to not take on the woes of others or the woes of the world, and if you need to block out news for a while, then definitely do that. One of my plants is looking a little sad. I'm looking at it right now. It needs water, so note to self, water my plant. Number 9 is try not to self-isolate. Another really big one. We need people. We need to be around people. If you have anyone that you can meet up with, a friend, a family member, a neighbor, or even just going to a cafe and talking with maybe some people there, or even just like exchanging a friendly smile, try not to self-isolate if you don't have to. This is the same as going outside. I feel like it's easy to kind of hibernate during this time and not like reach out to others so much and just focus on yourself and how miserable you are. But that's not going to lift you out of it. And people need people. People might need you. So try to get in touch with people and spend time with them when you can. I've been catching up with friends during the second time of my break, or the second part of my break, when I was feeling better. And it was so nice. It was so nice to be around them again. And that really helped me as well. And lastly, number 10, another really important one, I think, and this can be helpful any time of the year. If you are having a day that is especially bad, try to take some time to reflect about why you think that might be, because sometimes it's not being caused by something that is very tangible or something that you feel you can control, but other times it might be. It might be a very specific thing that kind of sends you spiraling into a downward trajectory. Is that the word? So maybe you read something on your phone and it's been bugging you and it's slowly been dragging you down, or maybe you didn't get up early enough and you kind of spent the entire morning in bed not really doing anything, and that's why you feel a little groggy and pessimistic. Maybe you haven't been outside in a while. Maybe you haven't been moving your body in a while. There are definitely some things that you could do if you reflect on what it is that made you feel bad in the first place. So try to go to the moment, like the first moment that you remember you started feeling this way, and try to see like if you can find some things that maybe contributed to that, or if you can find some things that you think might be helpful and give them a try. One example is for me, I was feeling low and I started reflecting about it, and I realized that there were some things that have been bugging me that I've been postponing and dreading, and I kind of feel bad about not having them done yet. And that was the moment that I made my little list of everything that I've been putting off and slowly working through it. And just that tiny bit of difference has made a huge difference in how I'm now feeling, much more accomplished, more in control, like I'm getting things done. And it's not even about being productive, it's about getting them out of your mind. These like nagging thoughts of like, oh, I should do that one day and I should still get that done, and those things can kind of drag you down. So that was one of my realizations, and you can only really get them, I think, if you just take some time to think about it and reflect. So this is my first day of filming videos again after having a month-long break. I'm very excited to be back to making videos again. I'm feeling a lot better, like the difference is pretty big. So the break was good and I'm happy to be back. I have lots of nice ideas and inspiration for upcoming videos in the coming weeks. So I hope you'll look forward to that. And if you're not subscribed already, then see this as an invitation to do so you won't miss it when I upload a new video. And you can always also subscribe to my free newsletter, simplehappyzen.com/newsletter, to be notified when there's a new video or if there's something else that I want to share. If you want more videos from me, then you can also always go over to Patreon, where I post 2 extra videos a month, and I've been doing that for a long time, so there are many videos up on there already. And by joining, it is $5 a month, and you are helping to support my work and help me to keep making these videos here on YouTube in exchange. So it's a nice community, it's a lot of fun, and you can go to patreon.com/simplehappyzen if you want to join. Of course, I would love to know how you are doing. Are you dealing with the winter blues, or maybe you live somewhere and it's not even winter right now? Please leave whatever tips have been helpful for you to get out of a rut or out of a funk in the comments section. Maybe there's something that I can also still try. And as always, questions, comments, conversations down below. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again next week. Bye bye. Yesterday I was out walking and I saw one cherry blossom tree that was starting to get some blossoms, and I nearly cried. Spring is coming, people.